Hey guys and girls, welcome to episode 18 of Just Wandering Oz. In this video, we say goodbye to South Australia and head back over the border to Queensland. Starting in the outback town of Marree, we see the cool old blitz of Tom Kruse, the old Birdsville Track mailman, before tackling the Birdsville Track. After marvelling at the ever-changing landscape of the outback, we stop halfway for an overnighter at the quirky Mungerannie Hotel. Finally, after 517 k's of bulldust, gibberock and corrugations, we reach the renowned outback town of Birdsville for a beer at the iconic Birdsville Hotel, our first taste of camel, and an amazing sunset on top of Big Red. This was definitely an outback adventure not to be missed. Hope you enjoy.
This is us for the night. There's a dump point, good, because I think our pooper's pretty full. And guess whose turn it is to go in?
So we're just at the little centre of Marree. We're just reading this thing about the cattle king of Australia, the Kidman story, Sydney Kidman. He had cattle stations from the Gulf of Carpentaria, this like pale yellow bit, all down here, all the way down to almost Kapunda, all around here, all around Alice Springs, and then this little bit here. That's hectic.
83 million, was it?
83 million acres and more than 90 stations. And S. Kidman and Co. still continues the Cattle King's business today.
Oh yeah, but he ain't nearly as big.
That's bloody hectic. Could you imagine? No wonder he was called the Cattle King.
Well, yeah, I want to read a book on him. There is a couple of good ones.
God, that's insane.
I just didn't know it was that big. I knew it was big. But I haven't yet been to the Gulf of Carpentaria. I've been to Kapunda, and I've been like Isa and a little bit higher, and that's still not the length of his property.
That's insane.
When you think about it like that, we would be here, or even when we were in the Barossa, talking to your friend Jade, not even at the top of his property. Still in the same property.
Hectic. It's almost hard to comprehend, isn't it?
One person.
Yeah. God.
Obviously managed by men.
It is his.
Tom Kruse's.
The Royal Mail. So we read the story of the mailman of the Birdsville Track.
Tom Kruse's story.
And this was his old mail truck.
The old Blitz.
Super cool. So we listened to that when we were doing the dinosaur trail, actually.
Yeah, we did.
And it kind of made us want to get out and do the Birdsville Track just to see it. So he used to, like, yeah, in this, through flood and rain, and
it was a track. It was only ever done by camel.
yeah,
by horseback.
and he'd do it over all the sand dunes and through all the creeks and stuff. That's hectic. That's cool that that's his actual truck.
I wonder if that's the one they dragged out, or if that's in Adelaide Museum. And this is like, because he had a couple.
Yeah, I don't know.
Which one it is?
They don't really have any information about it, which is a shame, because if you hadn't read the story, you'd just be like, oh, it's an old truck.
Yeah, with the Royal Mail.
Yeah. That's really cool.
And this, I guess, is the old Ghan line.
Yes, it is. There's an old Ghost of the Ghan line thing over there, so we'll go for a walk in a minute. Old train carriage. Ghosts of the Ghan. So for those of you who don't know, camels were brought to the Australian outback to transport big heavy items because they were more hardy than horses. And we were reading before in Farina that when they were transporting stuff into the Farina township, one of them actually transported a grand piano, or baby grand piano, on a camel. That's hectic. So that's why we have camels in Australia.
Yeah, and along with that, all the handlers were from Afghan.
Yeah.
Which is the old camels, when they link them up, they'd call it camel train. That's where the Ghan got its name from. It's probably actually pronounced Ghan, because short for the Afghan train.
Yeah. What does he say? The Old Ghan. The Old Ghan Railway, originally called the Great Northern Railway, is a tale of triumphs of pioneering Australians in a landscape of extremes. The Ghan opened the way into Australia's remote interior. Unofficially called the Ghan, it provided isolated residents with a physical and emotional link to civilization. During World War II, the railway was pushed to its limit, yet barely a decade after peace resumed in 1945, it was rejected. Explore the Old Ghan Railway Heritage Trail from Port Augusta to Alice Springs and experience Australia's pioneering transport history. It's a story of outback dreams and heartbreak, sand drifts, rail buckling heat, and devastating floods in a harsh land. So, it went from Port Augusta to Marree and then all the way to Alice Springs. That's kind of cool. Does it say anything different on the other side?
Yes.
The Old Ghan Railway reached Marree, then called Hergot Springs, in 1884 when the section from Farina was opened on February 7. Marree was a town barely 2 months old. Fettlers' cottages were built around 1884 as part of the then Great Northern Railway and are the oldest surviving railway buildings in Marree. Extremes of climate posed continual challenges for the hardy fettlers on the Old Ghan route. Sand drift on Corn, Marree, Unadada sections was a recurrent problem. In 1983, 2 sand scoop teams were employed between Marree and Unadada. Wind chutes were erected at several locations to combat sand drift. By contrast, the line from Marree to Unadada was cut from mid-February to March 5, 1938 because of damage caused by heavy rains. A new standard gauge line from the Stirling North outside Port Augusta reached here on June 29, 1957, and Marree became a change of gauge station. The surviving narrow gauge line to Alice Springs continued until the end of 1980. On January 1, 1981, the last narrow gauge goods train from Unadada arrived here in Marree.
Did it?
So there you go.
I told you the train line changed sizes.
Yeah. That's cool. So this is Marree. Not very big, but pretty cool. And we were saying before, it is a shame that I don't have any information on the old mailman's truck, because it is actually a fascinating story. It's by Peter Fitzsimmons. We listen to a lot of audiobooks while we're driving along, and that's one that we chose last time and we loved it. So if you like Australian history, oh, that's cool. If you like Australian history, read that one because it's really cool.
Yeah, along with a lot of his other ones on Australian history.
Most of Peter Fitzsimmons stuff is really interesting, but yeah. Good morning, everyone. Birdsville Track Day.
Where are we now?
Exciting. We're in Marree, so we're at the Caravan Oasis Caravan Park, I believe it's called. Nothing specky, but it does its job. There's a camp kitchen, showers, toilets. Hey, baby. Yeah. So Laurie's just letting down all the tyres. He's just on the car. Hey, Dad.
Oh, I'm dying. Hey. Yeah, I just went down to sort of 25 in the front and 28 at the rear. We'll see just how it goes. Obviously there's more weight over the rear, so we'll keep a little bit more pressure. And these are currently at 50-ish. I'm thinking probably 35. We'll see.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Play it by ear?
Yeah. That's it. We got a compressor, we can always go back up.
So to minimise dust, I have just taped around the edges of where our bed is, because that seems to be a dust spot, and we'll just tape up the door. Thanks Big Oz for the tip for that. So yeah, nearly ready. You excited, babe?
Oh, I'm so keen. So keen.
It's something we've wanted to do for quite a while, and we're actually getting to do it finally. Blake, are you excited? All right. We will see you on the Birdsville Track.
So, you wouldn't believe what we're crossing again. I mean, we've only done it I don't even know how many
I think
times.
this is the 4th time we've seen it. The dingo fence.
I don't know whether old mate's slowing down either.
Well, the dog fence, as they also call it. It's both. So, here it is again.
Here it is again. Oh, rubbish.
Just in case you missed it last time, the dingo fence extends for more than 5,600 kilometres. Oh my lord. Did it chip it?
Maybe.
Oh well. The dingo fence extends for more than 5,600 kilometres from Queensland to the Great Australian Bight, and it's the longest man-made structure in the world. And that's the 4th time we've seen it.
Because it's so big.
And when we say 4th time we've seen it, the first time was in far north Queensland. That's crazy. It's so funny that it's like, oh yeah, we saw that here, yeah, we saw that there, and it's just, yeah, it's so long.
Just keeps popping up.
It's insane. We were just saying there's a lot more traffic on here than we kind of thought.
Yeah, I knew there'd be a few people out here. It's still South Australian school holidays.
Yeah, and it's like the end of the Big Red Bash.
Yeah, the Big Red Bash was sort of
Week
not
ago?
last weekend, but the weekend before. So maybe a few people hung around out here, did the Simpson Desert, did just explored around. So there's still the stragglers from that. Plus the times we're in, people are just travelling more. Even the campground last night in Marree, the caravan park, it was basically empty when we got there, and we had pick of the spots.
And it was almost like 5 o'clock.
I must meet everybody either finishing the this track, the Birdsville Track or the Uncounted, and then they're coming in. Hello. I'm real paranoid about stone chips now that everyone flies past.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, oh well, we'll just smash the front window.
No, don't smash the front window.
Yeah, and it just really filled up, and it was nice. We met like a really nice couple and their kids, and I stayed up too late talking nonsense to them. But hey, this is the Birdsville, and this is, well, the Birdsville Track, I should say. And so far, like we're early days. I probably haven't even done 50 k's. I might have just done 50 k's. So far, it's just like it's actually a pretty decent dirt road.
Yeah, it's actually not that bad. I was expecting it to be a hell of a lot worse. And like you said, we are only early days, so it could get a lot worse.
Yeah.
But apparently this
all you
stretch
need is
between...
a 20 or 30 k stretch are really bad, and it could change your whole day.
Yeah. But, you know, apparently the stretch between Marree and Mungerannie is the worst, and so far it hasn't been so bad, so...
No.
We'll see.
I mean, tyre pressures are down. We're absorbing a lot of the corrugations that probably a lot more people feel.
And we're not going fast.
We're sitting between 70 and 80 k's an hour. I'm in no hurry to get anywhere. We're only aiming for Mungerannie Station tonight, which is probably another 150 k's in front of us, and it's only 10 o'clock. We got all day.
Yeah.
Oh well, if anything cool happens, we'll let you know, but this is the Birdsville Track and the Stony Desert. Cheeky little bulldust holes. This will test the van, see how much she sorts this out. You can hear it on the bottom of the car.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
This is where if you go too slow, it like envelops your car and then you cannot see what's going on.
Wow. This is hectic.
Oh yeah. Look at it.
Holy dolly.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Oh yeah. Bulldust is the big,
Wow.
big sucker. Oh well, look at it. It's in here. Got in. Somewhere. Good luck keeping bulldust out actually.
That was crazy.
Yep.
Some of those holes were so deep. Like the ruts were so deep. It's all up my nose.
It's in the orifices. Might like blow it out.
Maybe.
Can't hurt, right?
Jesus. You right back there, Blake?
Yeah, you don't like holes.
Well.
Tinker.
Okay.
Is that your first experience with it?
Yeah, we had a little bit on the road, but nowhere near like that.
No.
That was a lot funner.
Oh yeah.
The other road, it didn't come in, like on the way to Bentley, it didn't actually come into the park.
Oh, that wasn't like, yeah. Well, you could also dodge it on that road.
No.
It looked like Venice. Talcum powder.
So this is the barge MV Tom Brennan.
Yeah, Tom Brennan used to help out old Tom Kruse get using this barge to load all the Royal Mail on.
Yeah.
Get across the river.
So this barge was presented to settlers north of Cooper Creek by Dalgety and Company in 1949 to ferry people, supplies and mail across floodwaters and to assist drovers with the crossing of cattle en route to the Adelaide market. Restored by the Highways Department of South Australia to commemorate the state's 150 Jubilee in 1986. So it's pretty cool.
You should come read this sign.
Oh yeah.
You see what the outback does with signs.
Wow.
You
It
can
probably
kinda
was
see-
very informative.
You can kind of see there's writing on it if you look at it from an angle. But that's when driving the Birdsville track through some like pretty arid country, I did not expect to see greenery. I know it's wet, well it hasn't been wet out yet, and it's winter. I still just did not
So
expect
green.
it.
Yeah, and we missed filming it, but we came through a little bit before, and it was just covered in yellow wildflowers, like super bright. It was so beautiful.
Yeah, we're hanging for a stern desert peak, but
Yeah, that'd be cool.
yeah, not yet. If we see one, you'll definitely see one.
But yeah, so much greener than either of us anticipated.
Oh yeah.
Like we're in the outback. It's not meant to be green in the outback. And look, so far the road hasn't been that bad. Like there have been a couple of little rubbish sections, but it's more just super rocky, so you got to go a bit slow so you don't fling rocks everywhere. But it hasn't been that bad.
Touch wood.
Yeah, touch wood. Laura's touching his head. That'll do it. Let's see what the next leg holds. We're nearly at Mungerannie.
Yeah, Mungerannie should be the stop for today.
Yeah. Stop there. Have a bit of lunch.
Which was what, 250 k's or something of a 560 k
Yeah.
road. Yeah.
So, fun fact for those of you who don't know, I looked at it on Google Maps and it's only 500, I think it was 560 k's, but Google reckons it takes like 8.5 hours because you've got to go so slow over sections. So while we say Mungerannie was only like 200 and something Ks, it's taken us like 4 hours to get that 200 and something Ks.
Yeah.
So
I mean, and as I'll say again, we're not in the car.
yeah, exactly. Like I'm sure there are people who have done it in a day. Good on them. There was probably a time where we would have done it in a day.
Oh, if I wasn't towing a van, I had to get somewhere, yeah.
But not now. We're slow explorers now.
Anyway, we'll let you know if anything cool happens.
Yeah.
Just showing you a little different sort of, I don't know what would you call it, scenery.
Yeah,
Like
the
the
landscape
changing-
has
yeah,
changed
changing
so
landscape.
much. Like you've gone from really dry, arid desert to scrubby to really green, flowery. It's been crazy the number of
Feels
landscape
like we're in like a
changes.
swampy base, just because, like a low-lying water base, just because everything is so green.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we made it to the Mungerannie Hotel. So it's $10 per person. You pay in at the pub.
And campfires are awesome. You just got to bring your own wood.
Yeah.
No collection.
So we're just gonna pull up and go in and pay, and then go set up.
Yeah.
Cool. Guess whose turn it is this time?
Yours.
No, it's yours.
Nah.
Alright, so we've just pulled up. As you can probably hear, Blake's not very happy. We pulled the tape off the door, assessing the dust situation. So there's still a fair bit that managed to get in. It's quite dusty. I don't know how well you can see that. Yeah. Hopefully it's only just in the door and on the top there, but oh, looks like it's coming a bit up there. Oh well. I'll bring you on our dust journey. Alright, so dust situation. That's what I swept off the floor. It's not too bad. A little bit in the corners here. I did have to clean off this bench, but again, it wasn't too bad. There is a little bit along kind of the edge of the bed where the back folds in. I haven't opened the bathroom yet. This, I reckon, is probably going to be quite dusty. Huh, it's not too bad. That's pretty red though. All in all, it actually wasn't that bad. Hey, Doe. Oh, let's go around the other side of the van. Yeah. Cool little camp spot. There is a river down there, but you can't camp on the, well, we couldn't find the camp spots to the river. But yeah, cool little overnight spot. Morning, guys.
Morning.
Birdsville Track Day 2.
Yeah. Just left Mungerannie. Got busy last night. Everybody turned up sort of around the 5 o'clock mark. Yeah. Which, whatever. We were in nice and early and got a good campsite.
That was really nice.
Yeah. Food there for dinner was good for the amount of people, I guess, that they're feeding. It's only a small kitchen and whatever. You don't expect fine dining out in the middle of the outback. I would have liked my steak to have been cooked a little bit less, but hey.
It's just, I think it's kind of just like home cooking. Like,
You get what you order a steak and they just, you might say rare, but they just go, yeah, whatever, I'm just going to cook it how I cook it.
yeah. I had crumb steak and it was really nice. And Blake had nuggets and it was good.
And my T-bone was still very nice.
Yeah, it was really tasty.
Yeah. But bacon and egg rolls in the morning, just in case you didn't know, apparently not many people know that.
Really, really nice.
And the big brekkies, I've seen them pumping out. If you're in for a big day, like there's a lot of adventure riders in there at the moment, and they probably won't stop for lunch. So some of those big brekkies they're eating, oh yeah.
Yeah, so a good little stop. It's just under halfway on the Birdsville Track if you're coming from Marree.
Oh, either way, it's just over if you're going the other way.
Just over if you're going the other way.
Oh my god, because I can't screw the lid on when I need to.
Yeah, $10 per person.
Yeah. For a
they've
night.
got showers, toilets.
You can just stop and have a shower. It's $5. You can just do that. So maybe you've had a bad day, you just want to keep going, but you're a bit dusty or something.
Yeah. So all in all, it was a really good little overnight stop.
But you can't complain at all.
Yeah. So onwards to Birdsville.
See you on the road. This is kind of what I pictured the desert looking like. Nothing, brown, flat. But hey, at least I'm getting a little bit of what I planned, what I thought I'd get.
Yeah, and this section of the track is really, really good.
Oh yeah, the hardest part about this section of the track is trying to stay slow so I don't drill my tyres. Just keep wanting to creep over that 80 km/h mark. But hey, we just make the most of it while it's nice and not so rubbish.
Yeah.
Just appreciate it before it gets rubbish again. We've even had a couple of spots on the Birdsville now. We just went through our second spot with water over the road. So there is some water laying around. Not a heap, obviously. You can still see, you might be able to see on the camera, it's getting a little bit greener in these sort of lower patches where there must still be a little bit of water sitting, or at least the ground's a little bit wetter.
And there's some sections of the road where you can see people have driven on the edges and it's very...
Yeah, been a bit soft.
Yeah.
Sunk it a little bit, dug some trenches.
So guys, what you can see in front of you on the camera is the Dune. Not sure how to say it. But we've just passed the track that joins the Strzelecki and the Birdsville Track. And very soon we'll be crossing over where Burke and Will's crossed over the Birdsville Track. It's kind of cool.
We are now on the home stretch. We're sort of probably 60 k's out of Birdsville. And the terrain's completely changed. We're cruising through like sand dunes and the track's gone from very rocky and very bumpy to sort of more corrugated and sandy. Yeah. It's still, unless this side of the track gets significantly worse, I still think the Birdsville to Mungerannie is a lot better than the Mungerannie to Marree side. Marree, sorry.
Marree's New South Wales.
Yeah, too many Marree movies. But yeah, check it out. We're like in amongst the sand dunes of the Simpson Desert.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So there's like the Stony Desert on one side and the Simpson Desert on the other. So Mungerannie is actually where the three deserts meet. So the Simpson, the Stony and the Strzelecki.
Yes. Well done.
Go me. Yeah, Mungerannie is where all three of them meet. It's kind of cool.
Fun facts.
Fun facts of the Riz. About to cross back into Queensland. It's been a while, Queensland.
It has been a while.
And we are back on home soil.
Back in Queensland and the roads are wet. Essential travel, aren't they?
So it says there's border control, but we've heard from a couple of people that there isn't actually anyone on the border control. So
Well, we just crossed the border.
we just crossed the border, there's no one here, so obviously they're alright. But in any case, we've done our border declaration passes, we've done the right thing.
Yeah, we all good anyway. Bitumen.
Something we haven't seen in a while.
What do I do?
I don't know. It's weird.
It is weird.
It's not bumpy.
Might be. Guess that's where the Birdsville races are.
Yeah.
Welcome to
Birdsville. How exciting.
Oh yeah. We gotta get the photo, I guess.
Yeah.
And what everybody comes to Birdsville for. Wait for it. There she is. The bird. Yeah, just as old mate said, check it out at the pub.
Birdsville Hotel, established 1884. That's a long time ago.
Yes. Yes, it is.
So we've gone from the Birdsville Track to Birdsville to the Simpson Desert.
Yes, we
So we are going, where are we going, babe?
have. Top of Big Red for
Big
sunset.
Red.
I have never been here before. I always thought it was the first sand dune, but this does not look like any of the pictures I remember. Now we're going to turn.
Follow these people, they think, where they go.
Yeah, I think everyone's coming up here. Little Red. Oh, it's only Little Red. Nah, Little Red is nowhere near us. Oh, hold on to your, whatever you hold on to. I figured when you're in Birdsville, you're only 38 to 40 kilometres away from it. I might come and see it because I don't know when the next time is. I'll be out here. So a little part of me thinks I shouldn't even look at it. I'll spoil it for when I do the Simpson. But the other part of me is like, just do it because you want to see it. So I'm going with the instant gratification and not the prolonged.
There had better be enough beers left in the fridge.
I'm probably just going to have a scotch, to be completely honest with you. There's at least two.
This is Scotch in the car.
Yes.
Excellent. Scotch.
There's all your wines in the car as well.
Oh. Okay.
I think we're sorted for alcohol. Just crack a bottle of red at the top and scuzz it.
Scuzz it.
Yeah.
Now what point should we let the tyres down again?
When I start to get bogged. When the wife yells at me because I bought zero recovery gear.
Let's talk about that, shall we?
See, these are the tones and the words I get. No faith.
Well, who comes out into the Simpson Desert without any recovery gear?
This little fat duck.
Yeah, apparently.
Hardly. We're doing like the first sand dune of the Simpson Desert. It's not even the Simpson Desert.
Flies out here are juicy, hey babe. The flies, they're juicy. They're everywhere. Okay. So we're in sand mode. We need to be in low rain, Brandon?
No, I don't think it's that bad.
Send it.
Will we?
Definitely. Much to my anxiety's disgust.
Very bumpy. Oh, it's very bumpy.
Okay, that I was expecting it to be really bad.
Why?
I don't know, because you're in sand and it's a sand dune, and we've been to like Morton and Fraser, and you get bogged everywhere there.
Do you? Everywhere we go. Yeah, good. I don't know if you can hear it.
We are on top of Big Red. Ta-da! Blake just got sand in her eye.
What are you doing? What are you eating?
Curried camel pie. It's actually pretty nice. It just kind of tastes like beef. Now it's your turn.
I quite like it.
It's nice, hey?
I wonder if the curry's to hide like a flavour that they don't want you to taste.
Maybe. I don't know.
Or maybe
it
you
seems
just
like
gotta-
it's slow cooked because it's like it comes apart really quickly.
Maybe camel is that tough, you've got to slow
Yeah.
cook.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not giving Blake enough chicken quickly. Oh, Birdsville Bakery. Pretty cool little spot. Ah. Blake, what are you eating? What you eating?
Is all one? No.
I think she'd eat the whole thing if she could.
Oh yeah, sure.
Good morning.
Hello.
We are just leaving Birdsville.
Yeah, stayed in the Birdsville Caravan Park last night. Went out to the, you'll see all the footage, or otherwise we'll roll on it in a second. But went out to Big Red, the first sand dune of the Simpson Desert last night. Had a bit of a play around, went up and down a few times. It was mainly just for the sunset.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
Because it's the kind of thing to do, and you're only 40 k's away from it, so yeah, why not? And then stopped into the Birdsville Pub for dinner. Bloody good atmosphere. It was a good feed.
Yeah. Steak.
Yeah.
It was nice. Yeah. And then this morning we got up a little bit late, as we do. It's kind of standard for us.
Yeah.
Packed everything up and went to the Birdsville Bakery for brekkie.
had camel pie. And
Yeah.
I had kangaroo pie, which I think the camel pie was a lot better than the roux pie myself. Not
Your roux pie was just very spicy.
Hey babe, it's turns.
Nah.
Oh well.
Guess the van's
We
getting
were-
dusty today. We got a bit complacent.
Got to get a bit complacent. I pumped the tyres up and didn't tape anything and just assumed it'd be all bitumen today. Turns out it's not all bitumen today. It doesn't look overly dusty though, so hey. And we'll check the conditions. If it gets real bad, I can always let the air out again and whatever, and we can just keep putting along. But
Yeah.
for now, we'll just do our thing.
So it seems we got pretty lucky when we left. When we left Mungerannie yesterday, it looked like there was rain over
There's big
Marree.
clouds and stuff
There was,
coming.
yeah, really, really dark. And then we just, on leaving Birdsville, they have the road signs that tells you whether the roads are open or closed or not. And it said Mungerannie to Marree was closed. So they obviously got a fair bit of rain out there.
Yeah.
So we glad that we left when we did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, generally they're only closed for sort of a day anyway. Would have just meant an extra night in Marree for us, but yeah.
Yeah.
Which wouldn't have been horrible. We made friends in Marree.
Yeah, they were lovely. So we are heading Windora way now.
Yes.
We probably won't make Windora today. I don't think it's about 5 hours. So that's a bit of a stretch.
Yeah, it's 370 or 380 k's ish. We just got, I guess we make the call at Batuta
Yeah.
because well, the issue, well, not the issue, but the thing is Batuta's only like an hour and a bit up the road. So if we get there and we're still feeling alright, Blake's in a decent mood, we might punch on the extra 200 because only 100, I think it's 120, 130 k's or something, isn't a big day even for us. We feel like you're just wasting days. But, I mean, I'd almost rather stop, pull up earlier than push on and then have another exhausting day, because although the last couple of days on the Birdsville haven't been sort of the biggest kilometres, they were sort of 5 and, well, the first day was 4 hours and the second day was sort of 5 to 6 hours, but it's a whole lot, it's a different sort of driving. Now I'm used to driving big days, and it's probably, I shouldn't tell you how big a days I have done on camera, but like a thousand k's for me is not a big day driving. So to say I've driven for 5 to 7 hours and felt exhausted, like you're just concentrating a whole lot more, and you can't kind of, not that you get complacent or relax on the road, but when you've done as much driving as I do, it's kind of second nature. You know, I don't have to think about driving to drive. And the last couple of days on the Birdsville Track, takes you back. You've got to be alert. There's so many, and that's what makes the Birdsville so challenging. It's realistically just a dirt road. It's nothing. If you're a competent driver with a little bit of ground clearance, you'll be fine doing it. Because all it is the road condition changes so fast. One minute you're driving along a nice flat dirt road, the next minute you're in amongst rocks that are piled up in the centre, a foot, almost 2 foot high in some spots, that you sort of you're either dragging your belly across or you try and dodge. And then there's the washouts and the bulldust. So there's just those things that sneak up on you that you can't just be looking out the window getting complacent with. Yeah. So I was a little bit exhausted after those couple of days. So I don't really want to punch out another one. But I mean, if we have to, we have to.
Yeah, we'll see how we go.
That was a bit of rambling.
As always, that's the general direction.
East now is the general
direction. But we don't really have a plan as such, so see where we go, see where we end up.
Yeah, and as you can see, shirts. We're in Queensland.
Yeah.
It's 10 o'clock in the morning and it's 23 degrees outside. You wouldn't know it from inside the car, but it's damn windy today.
Yeah.
Which is the only thing that's keeping the chill away when you go outside. It is, the wind's got a little bit of a bite to it. But other than that, it is a beautiful day.
So hopefully it'll make this coldy thing that I've got and that you've got and that Blake's got bugger off, because we've had it for over a week now and it's driving me crazy.
Yes. I'm generally pretty good during the day. It's just morning and night air. That cool air gets me.
Yeah.
Which does mean I'm just on the tail end of it, but hey.
Alright, well,
See you on the road.